Most people don't have a calendar.
Achievers schedule their success.
What is batching? To explain it in simplest terms, we can talk about laundry.
Rise and shine?
Entspresso time.
No, it's Entspresso time.
It's Entspresso time.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself more and start your day with confidence. So good morning, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Brendon Burchard.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Most people don't have a calendar. So that's problem number one. They're not strategically blocking time, moving towards the major things they want in their life. They won't say they're going through the motions, but the calendar reveals it. Like if I parachute in their life and I open up their calendar and there's nothing there, they can't possibly say they're living with purpose or intention. And that sounds so flippant to say, but I can't believe how many people, they're not planning their skill set development. They're not planning specific goal attainment on certain dates. So just like their calendar's completely empty and they're hoping it's gonna happen. And it's like, if you look at mine, it's like military-esque like planning. Like I'm going to hit these goals. It's going to happen.
The difference between wannabes and achievers is the ability to schedule in their success. Achievers schedule their success. They have the ability to take the ideas that they have, the ambitions that they want to go off and accomplish, the mission that they're trying to go off and create for the world, and they schedule it into their calendar because it's super exciting to think about the world you want to create, to envision it, to live there, to say, wow, it'd be so amazing if I can create this. And we get that high in our brain of what could be, right? Of the future that could be created, that we could be a part of. It's this fantasy world, this dreamland that we're living in. It's amazing, right? It's amazing to think of what could happen. But then actually doing the work is tough, right? Actually scheduling it in is hard. But until you do that, you will never actually go off and accomplish your dreams. So success is just habits. Success isn't accomplishing some milestone. It's habits. You are not what you do, you are what you consistently do. And so what controls what you consistently do? Your calendar. What's in your calendar? Where are you spending your time? Success comes down to where you are consistently spending your time. So if you have a one-off slacker day, great, that won't impact your life, your ambitions, your calendar, your schedule, your dreams. But if every day is kind of slacker day, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. If you eat one chocolate bar and you're otherwise healthy, that's not going to be a problem. But if you're eating chocolate bars every day for every meal, it's going to be a problem, right? You are what you consistently do. And so it starts with creating a vision for your life, having an action plan, and then putting it into your calendar. It's the biggest tactical thing that most people miss. Most people will go to an event or watch a video and get motivated and get super excited and feed off that energy, and it feels great. But if you don't create your plan of action while you're feeling that energy and take that first step, nothing happens. I remember going to a Tony Robbins event, my first Tony Robbins event, and I brought my team. I brought 4 people from my team with me and paid for us all to go to California and go to the UPW, Unleash the Power Within. And I remember at the end of the second or third day, everybody was leaving the stadium pumped and high-fiving each other in the street. And someone on my team was just so fired up and motivated and said, it's like, it's amazing. He's like overwhelmed with excitement. And he asked me, why am I not more excited? It's like, I'm super excited, but I'm working on my calendar. Like what I took from this event, from this day, from these couple days, I need to make a change, but the change won't happen unless it's in my calendar, unless I'm taking action towards it. So it's great that you can get off on the sugar high of the motivation. Awesome. But that's going to die down. People often will leave events, not just Tony, anybody's events, and it has a lifespan, right? It's like suddenly a day later, 2 days later, a week later, you're back to who you used to be, because you didn't take the consistent action. And it's not that difficult. It's not that some people are just wired differently. It's not that it's not achievable for everybody. The problem is it's not in your calendar, right? You haven't set up with an intention a way to keep this consistently happening. So you just jump from one book or one course or one video to the next. It's why on these videos, I always want you to share what's your plan of action. At the end of every video, I'll say, the question of the day is, tell me what you learned from this and your plan of action. What are you going to do about it? Because until you create a specific plan of action, nothing happens. You just get a little bit of motivation. You have a little bit of sugar in you, which is fantastic, but I want it to last. I want to feed you, right? I want you to feed yourself, whether you get it from me or someone else. I want you to actually take the potential that you have and turn it into something amazing that serves the world. And it's possible and it's achievable. And me and Brendon Burchard or Tony Robbins and whoever are not any more special than you. The difference is what's going into your calendar. So if I look at my calendar, for example, on Monday is my mentoring day. So I spend the day mentoring my team. I'm helping them grow, I'm helping them learn, helping them develop. How can I be a resource? Not worried about operations, not worried about making videos like this, not worried about anything else, just mentoring my team. Tuesdays, I work on my YouTube channel. Hey, today's a Tuesday. I don't know when this video's coming up, but I'm filming this on a Tuesday because Tuesday is my YouTube day. So I spend the time researching, planning, making videos, content creation, thumbnails, all of it for my YouTube channel. And we've got, 12 different channels or so, making tons of videos every day. And I put all of that today on a Tuesday. Wednesday, tomorrow, will be my project day. And I have 1 day per week that I can just work on whatever project I want to work on. So Tuesday is tight. It's tight. It's lots of videos, lots of content. Every minute is go, 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 go. Tomorrow it's going to be totally open. What do I want to work on today? What project needs some momentum today? And it might be my book one day. It might be my Movement Makers program, which is awesome. Might be my YouTube Growth Bootcamp. I'll pick whatever project, just the whole day open. What do I want to work on? Thursday is my public facing day. So I'm an introvert that, doesn't come across in most of my content, but I'm an introvert and I still want to serve, right? I mean, that's one of the biggest struggles for introverts is, hey, you still want to serve. Just because you're an introvert, it doesn't mean that you don't want to help. You don't want to serve. You don't want to have an impact. You don't want to be of contribution, right? So I still want to serve. And so Thursday is when I do all my meetings, my Zoom calls, my interviews. People want me on their podcasts. People want me presenting at their events. Thursdays is just 25 minutes on, 5-minute break. 25 minutes with the next podcast, 5-minute break. 25, 5, 25, 5. I'll usually start the day with my Movement Makers or one of my own community programs, which is awesome. And then just the rest of the day is all interviews. And then Friday is my CEO day. And Fridays, I'll spend the time working on projects that will grow my business. So working on the business instead of in the business. And then Friday afternoons, I'll usually be connecting to the friends that I want to stay in touch with. So a lot of the people who've helped me in my business who otherwise I'm not great at staying in touch with people. So even looking at Brendon Burchard, right? He invited me to his events in Puerto Rico. He's given me a lot of advice on marketing, on personal development. And so normally I wouldn't be great at staying in touch with him. So I have my list of, I don't know how many we're at now, probably about 75 people right now who I want to once a quarter at least stay in touch with. And so Friday afternoons, I reserve my time to stay in touch with these people. And I'm trying to find a way to bring value, to help them, to see what they're promoting, just to stay kind of top of mind once a quarter. Saturday is my fun day. So that's me and my wife, and I'll plan the day. It might be a hiking trip. It might be some new food. No work, just fun together. And then Sunday is family admin day and all the stuff that we have to do, grocery shopping and Costco and cleaning the condo and just the stuff that you have to do as a family, right? To live and to function and take care of stuff. And then it repeats, and Monday is back on to mentoring day again. And that is my calendar. That fits my life goals, my ambitions right now. If you ask me in a year, some of those things might change, might have to tweak, will definitely tweak, because as you evolve and grow as a human, your schedule will evolve and have to grow as well. If it doesn't, if you start growing, but your schedule doesn't change, you're going to become more and more and more and more unhappy. The calendar that you were living 10 years ago should not be the same calendar you're living right now. Your priorities have changed. You've grown. You're still you, just a better version of you with slightly different aspirations and dreams and goals. And so your habits have to reflect that. And so it will all come down to you creating a calendar. Most people wake up like an accident. Not you guys. Most people, though, wake up like an accident. They fall into their day, they immediately pick up their phone, and they're responding to other people's emergencies. If you're here watching this video, you're a subscriber to this channel, you probably have a lot more intention than most people. But still, the difference between where you're at right now and where you want to be is having a calendar that maps your actions to your ambitions, right? Having a calendar that reflects where you want to go, who you want to become, the habits, doing it on a consistent basis. And then 2, actually following your calendar. It's creating the calendar, but it still won't happen until you stick to the calendar. And having the discipline to wake up and look at your calendar and then do the things in your calendar, even if you don't in the moment feel like doing those things. That's the difference between wannabe entrepreneurs and the achieving entrepreneurs. The wannabe entrepreneurs are the ones who start and stop and have a little success, but then fall back down, and a little success and fall back down, and motivated, not motivated, motivated, not motivated, and just constantly in this start and stop mode. You have one fire day, and then a kind of lazy day, or 2 lazy days, and then a fire day, and then an okay day, and then a lazy day. It's just not consistently applying yourself towards achieving your goals. It's totally possible. It's just tweaking your calendar to make sure that what's in your week, look ahead to your next week. In that week, are you doing the things that will help you accomplish the goals that you set for yourself and become the person that you want to be? Are you pumped by what's in your calendar? If not, make some tweaks, changes immediately. And then 2, actually following through and doing the work. The difference between a wannabe and an achiever. You're not that far off. You just have to create the calendar and stick to it. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know what was your single biggest takeaway from this video, and how are you going to take action on that this week when you watch something, get motivated, and then create a plan of action to say when, how, and where you're gonna take action. You have an over 90% chance of following through versus just a 35% chance if you get motivated by watching a video but never create your plan. So I want you to get some results. I want you to write down below what your plan of action is, your biggest takeaway, and what your plan of action is. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
Listen, humans are built to serve. Some people are built to serve the world, others want to serve the 25 people closest to them. But in either case, humans are built to serve. So if you're not happy right now, it's because you're not serving enough. You got to pick up this book because it's so inspiring to remind you that we're all here to contribute, to make a difference, to make an impact, and this is your field guide for that.
So what is batching? To explain it in simplest terms, we can talk about laundry. All right, so you wouldn't do your laundry every time you have a new pair of dirty socks. You wait for a certain critical mass of dirty laundry to accumulate, and then you do the laundry. Why? Same with the post office. If you have many different types of mail that are going to come together that you need to mail, you're going to wait for a certain critical mass as opposed to just going there for every single letter, because there's a setup cost. There is a task switching cost, getting in the car, driving there, spending the gas, spending the time, laundry, putting it all together, detergent, and so on. Right? So the time and labor involved in doing 1 letter or 20 or 1 pair of socks or an entire basket of clothing is the same. And you want to be both effective and efficient with your allocation of resources, i.e. time. If you apply those to business, you can apply them in 1,000,001 different ways. And I'll give you a few examples. One of the most common, I suppose, directional questions or specifics that I'm asked about is frequency. Well, do I batch on a daily basis? Do I batch on a weekly basis? Do I batch on a monthly or quarterly basis? And the answer is I do all of those things. But you don't have to try it all at once, and I would not encourage you to do that. I would encourage you to perhaps try 1 or 2 approaches and see what works for you. This is a very personal set of techniques. You develop a portfolio that works for yourself. Let me tell you a few things that I and others do. For instance, you might decide that on a given day, from the time you wake up until lunch is your primary creation period. This could be writing, it could be recording, it could be anything that is proactively creative and synthesis. Then, once you have lunch, you are permitted to do administrative tasks, phone calls, email, triage, calendaring, and so on. I do this quite a lot, particularly from Tuesday to Thursday. On certain weeks. On a weekly basis, I know the CEO of a very well-known startup, pretty much everyone watching this would know this company, and instead of batching on a daily basis, looking at his week, Monday to Friday, he might have day 1, administrative tasks, day 2, HR hiring, day 3, product, day 4, marketing, And on each of those days, he will focus on thematically or categorically those types of tasks. That is yet another approach. And very commonly, I will batch phone calls on Mondays and Fridays. And I would say, even broadly speaking, this is voice-related tasks. So I will have phone calls and podcast recording on Mondays and Fridays. And this helps to prevent also interruptions and task switching that can result if you have miscellaneous phone calls and podcasts scattered throughout the week. Makes it very difficult to do deep work on anything that might require 3 to 5 hours of uninterrupted time. On a quarterly basis, you could look at batch producing or completing certain types of normally scattered activities. For instance, I am recording this video right now during a content generation week, where a week is blocked out once per quarter to focus on answering common questions that all of you or my readers or listeners have asked, and so on and so forth. On a, say, 6-month to yearly basis, I have started in the last few years batching travel. Why would I batch travel? There are many different reasons to batch travel. One of my reasons is that I want to practice being off the grid for extended periods of time to not only remind myself and prove to myself that it is possible to do that, and no, the internet will not stop, the universe will not end if you are unavailable and unreachable for certain periods of time, and also to rejuvenate, to recharge, being away from social media and keyboards, laptops, screens, and so on. Batching is one of the fundamental concepts that you need to understand. If you understand the principle, the reasons for it, the concepts, you can come up with your own examples to experiment with. And these are not permanent changes. Think of them as 2-week experiments. One tiny thing that you can test, assuming that it's on a daily or weekly basis, and try it out. See what works. Keep what works, reject what doesn't, add what is uniquely your own, borrowing from Bruce Lee with that. And before you know it, you will have a reliable, dependable way of making yourself more effective and more efficient, which is your bespoke iteration of batching.
If you want to change your life in the next 30 days, check out my free training right here below me. Or if you want another awesome video from Brendon Burchard, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.